Alright, welcome to the stream. This is gonna be a track walkthrough on the track Brighter Times, which I made. So there's the fade out. Let's stop that. Okay, I think I was gonna see. Yeah, so that's the track. And let's see what's up with the volume. It's better now? Okay. So oh yeah, it's going through the maximizer. So the track started out, I was jamming a bit on the microKORG, and I think that's where the bass line came from. But then, yeah, I was using grain, and let's listen to the sample. Yeah, I was jamming with the microKORG and using some distortion and reverb, and I was experimenting with the bass patch, which it ended up not fitting in the song, but it's... yeah, let's take a listen to it. Okay, so that's the melody, and then I didn't get the bass or the grain patch to work when I started adding drums. But I was inspired by the movement of it, so I ended up checking out some other presets. Let's take a listen to the drums first. Let me solo that. So basically this is the initialized redrum with the disco drum and the shaker sound on every hit, and yeah, it's kind of a simple, but it had the beat that I was looking for. So yeah, and I start the song without the drums and fade them in. So they start fading in there. And I start the arpeggiated synth line. So the ARP is a Predator patch, ARP Romance 77, and yeah, the ARP came later. First came the bass track with the drums. So let's listen to them. So it's basically a D and a G, and this is also a Predator preset, PWM Ballad. The only thing I changed was the play mode. It is legato in the patch. Let's see. Yeah. And I had trouble when I was playing it. I wanted the boom, or how you say it. I wanted it to trigger every time, so I changed from legato to mono. Yeah, it's Intent 80s. So I think I was playing the grain patch and the drums. Yeah. Yeah, so that's how the idea came about, and I figured what to add next, and it became the synth ARP, the ARP. So I was browsing some. I knew I wanted an arpeggiator or arpeggiated synth line, and so I went through the Rob Pop and Predator presets and found this ARP Romance. So I was basically playing the... Let's mute it. Or... unsolo it, yeah. Yeah, so it was basically... I think I just copied the bass pattern. Yeah. And I moved it an octave up. It's basically the arpeggiator. I use it, the one programmed in the patch. So you can change how far the arpeggiator moves in the ARP in Predator. And what I ended up doing was... Let's move the sequencer up. Oops. Yeah. So I ended up automating the ARP octaves. So in the beginning of the track, it's moving further in the range. I think I have a 3 octave range. And then when the vocals come in, I reduce it to 2. So it leaves room for the... Oh, okay. I seem to have missed the automation lane. It's supposed to leave room for the vocals there. So let's move on to the vocals. Or rather, when I came this far, I thought about how to... Let's see. Yeah, it's still running. Is it working? I think so. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I was thinking how to write some, I don't know, 80s style lyrics, or I've been listening to a bunch of that kind of music lately. So basically I opened up Notepad and came up with these lyrics. Kinda cheesy maybe, but I felt I wanted some vocals in the track to have some kind of expression, and the melody ended up being the melody I had with the grain patch. And let's see, solo the vocals. Isn't working. So let's unsolo. I don't know why I can't solo it. Yeah, I have to. Yeah, that's why. I ended up using a vocoder. So you have to have the vocoder running. So I ended up playing in melody after the vocals. At first I tried to sing the vocals, but it was difficult to hit the notes, so I didn't like the sound of it. Let's see if I can... if I bypass the vocoder, maybe? Okay... Not... yeah, fully dry. Yeah, so let's not bypass it. On. Let's move the sequencer back. And yeah, unmute synth lead. Lights keep shining. So sun is setting, you don't know why. You are asking for brighter times. So these are the vocals. Lights keep shining upon you. Going into the polar with classic stereo and some delay. And let's unmute the delay. I used the delay in the roll mode to have the repeating. Let's see, let's unmute that. Let's listen again. Eyes, but it's darkness you feel inside. Okay, maybe it's that one. Let's see. Yeah. So there's the delay going. And I tried singing again because I didn't like the start. It was hard to hit the first note. So I ended up using a vocoder instead. Let's see, here it is. The BV512, it's a standard in Reason. And you use it by connecting your microphone to the modulator and then some kind of synth to the carrier input, and then you play the melody with the synth, and then that merges with the vocals. You're asking for brighter times. Lights keep shining upon your eyes. So I was experimenting a bit with the different oscillators. You can get different timbres, and then I ended up trying something with the frequency band until I came up with the sound that I ended up with in the track. And yeah, so when I had a notepad up, I was planning how to do... I had a synth riff written here, and my plan was I'm gonna make a patch on the microKORG. I ended up not doing that. Instead, I used a preset on the Europa synth. Let's see if we can find it. The Canadian Broadcasting preset. I love this preset, and let's see, let's undo that. So maybe if let's put a device here so I can scroll. Maybe. Yeah, there. Yeah, now I can scroll. So I have the D made. I have the scales and chords to have the ARP, and you want a D major for the song, because I have a D and a G, and then I added the steps and the pattern and drew the pattern in, and so the player comes before, so it's the scales and chords and then dual arpeggio. So I write the melody just with one, the bass key. I choose D and G, and I ended up using some automation on the filter and the volume on the mixer. Because I wanted the fade out to be kind of slow, but instead I had a slow change of the filter. There it starts to disappear, and the filter is almost closed, but it's still sounding a bit. But in the mix, the second verse comes in. So it starts moving about a bit. Yeah, there's the vocals. Let's move the sequencer up. And I used the master fade to just have the fade out. Now I understand why the volume. I had the volume when I played it, and I do the stream within reason, so it had changed the volume. That's why it was weird. Okay, so yeah, and I didn't end up adding more to the track, just a 2-minute track, and I could have added more to it, but I wanted to feel like I finished one track, so I did a video with the, let's see if I can open it, Shotcut. Yeah, it's not opened yet, but it's basically a Windows app. You can make a movie. So I took a video from my phone. Maybe I can open the project. Doesn't have recent. Yeah, let's not go into that one. And then for final touches, we have the master section. So I ended up, first I put in the maximizer, and it's the Ozone. I got it when I bought the mastering rig during the sale, and I ended up using the tape effect on the Audiomatic. I really like that effect. And let's listen a bit. Yeah, everything is up. And so without the tape. With the tape. And it really, I think it brings everything together. Maybe it sounds cheesy, but I like it. And it's pushing the volume a bit, maybe that's why. But it's pushing it in a way which brings everything together, I think. Alright, that was a track walkthrough. Let me know if you want me to do more of these. And I'll see you guys in the next stream.